show with. Forward Jonathan Kuminga, he headlines a group of restricted free agents. As reported by Shams, the Warriors have been in contact with several teams, but have not received an offer to their liking on a sign-and trade here for the fifth-year swingman. And this is all very important because the Golden State Warriors, look at this. They're the only team this offseason that is yet to make a single move, a single acquisition for a player with NBA experience. So for the latest on Kaminga, we're joined by the duo who broke the news this morning. Of course, our senior insider, Shams Charania, is here. And for the very first time, we say hello to our new Warriors reporter, Anthony Slater. Anthony, welcome. We're really excited to have you here.
Yeah, I'm pumped up.
We're pumped up, and we kind of wish that we were maybe doing this over a drink in your backyard right now. But we're really excited to have you. Shams, I'm going to start with you. What is the latest with Kuminga and his contract negotiations here with Golden State?
Malika, this is turning into a battle of control over the short and long-term future of Jonathan Kuminga as a Warrior or otherwise. I'm told the Warriors presented Jonathan Kuminga with a 2-year, $45 million offer that contained a team option in the second season, as well as him forfeiting a built-in no-trade clause as part of the deal. So far, Jonathan Kuminga has declined all of the Warriors' offers. He has said no, and the theme for the Warriors right now is Jonathan Kuminga appears to want to control his destiny moving forward with two routes here. One being the qualifying offer that we see right there. He's saying he could bet on himself all day. That has an October 1 deadline, 1 year, $7.9 million. And if his mindset is about continuing to get power over his future and controlling his future, that would allow him to have a no trade clause next season. It would also give him access to unrestricted free agency in the summer of 2026. The other route for Jonathan Kuminga is sign and trades. The Phoenix Suns and Sacramento Kings have both had interest in him, have given him offers up to about 4 years, $90 million, have given him a player option as well, have also promised him a starting role, guaranteed minutes, and control over his future with that player option. But clearly, the Warriors, as of right now, have shunned all sign and trade offers. So right now, what we see is a stalemate between both sides, is both sides at a crossroads for a player that clearly believes that he has not been given the full amount of opportunity in Golden State. Clearly, he has a high level of self-belief right now.
Yeah, I mean, we saw that in that social media post. There's a lot of options here is what I'm hearing that's on the table for Jonathan Kuminga. So, Anthony, you've been around this team throughout Kuminga's entire tenure, his entire time with this roster. Do the Warriors, because I hear confidence coming from Kuminga, do the Warriors feel confident that they will eventually reach a deal here?
Yeah, for sure. They've been pretty firm in the last few days saying, there's a reason why it's called restricted free agency and not unrestricted free agency. They kind of, hold the leverage on his future, and their preferred path clearly is the offer they put on the table. It's short term, it's tradable. That's how they've pitched it to Kuminga even, because it's something they could maybe trade in January at full value. But they say regardless, their stance is that as of right now, they're shutting down sign and trade talks. They found nothing appealing there. And they believe he's going to be on the roster. Their stance is he will be on the roster to start next season, and if that's the qualifying offer, that's what it is. The concern there, the flip side of that, is the messiness of this. It's already, as y'all can attest, has become kind of a messy restricted free agency. Yeah. How about when this gets to training camp? How about when the veterans are around, looking around, saying, is this going to be a distraction in one of Steph Curry, Jimmy Butler, and Draymond Green's final contention seasons? I think that's where there's a potential, pivot point, breaking point in this. But as of now, as Shams mentioned, it's a stalemate, and it continues to be messy.
But right now, the Warriors are saying they're shutting down those sign and trades talks. So if they are looking to re-engage for the Warriors here at some point, Shams, what would a potential sign and trade eventually look like? Because they're saying right now they expect him to be on the roster.
Malika, the Warriors have been defiant. They want a good player. They also want an unprotected first-round pick, a good first-round pick. The Sacramento Kings, I'm told, have actually offered a first-round pick in those conversations. It's been a conditional first-round pick as well as a potential rotation player as well. But the Warriors have wanted the Sacramento Kings to give them an unprotected, fully first-round pick. The Suns, on the other hand, do not have a first-round pick to trade, so their deal would likely look at 1 or 2 rotation players and second-round draft compensation. The Warriors, though, do not want bad salary in return. They don't want players that they feel don't have the value moving forward that Jonathan Kuminga could have. So clearly, their asking price has not been met in these potential offers. There's still about a month and a half, 2 months left before Jonathan Kuminga has a real decision to make with that October 1 qualifying offer.
Okay, so it sounds like there is a whole lot still on the table that Jonathan Kuminga and the Golden State Warriors need to come to an agreement on. Fellows, thank you so much. We'll continue to monitor the situation. And Slater, we really, really are very lucky and excited to have you here at ESPN, you and your enormous podcast mic. All right, let's take a look at this. Over the last 2 seasons, Jonathan Kuminga averaged just over 17 points on 51% shooting in 56 starts. Those numbers did fall to 14.6 points a game on 48% shooting in the 65 games Kuminga came off of the bench here. We have seen it in spurts. When Steph Curry was out in the playoffs last year, Kuminga rose to the occasion. This has been a constant tug-of-war between this player and this franchise. So Kendrick Perkins, I wonder, to Slater's point, how much this might impact Golden State. Having this really talented player, his contract hanging over a team that has a core of Steph, of Draymond, of Jimmy, that have all said this is the last hurrah, and by the way, are all over 35 years old. What do you think?
It's a bad look. It's a bad look on the Warriors, in my opinion, Malika. One, because, you know, I get it with the information that Jonathan Kuminga is saying he's going to bet on himself, but it's hard to walk into a locker room and bet on yourself when a coach has shown you time and time again that at any given time he could pull you out of the rotation. That's number one. Number two, why not let this man go be great, and why are you holding him hostage and from going to another team and a sign and trade if it's the Phoenix Suns or the Sacramento Kings that have up to $90 million on them? Yes, you want great value back for him, but while he's in your organization, you're not valuing him as if he's that type of player. And I'm looking at a Jonathan Kuminga who I believe his ceiling is very, very high. His peers feel the same way. And understand with a guy that you drafted with the number 7 pick that's been showing you signs and that's been developing. He never comes in the training camp out of shape. We never question how hard working he is. He's gotten better every single season. What is the deal?
Well, the one thing that's really interesting, the Warriors are getting only offers from Pacific Division foes. They have not done a trade with the Kings since 1991. I believe that was the Mitch Richmond, Billy Owens trade, if I'm not mistaken. They haven't done anything with the Suns since 2013. So it may not be that attractive for the Warriors to send this guy to a Pacific Division foe.
Right.
And if you look at what the Kings are offering, they're offering Malik Monk and they're offering a protective first. The Carter thing, I don't think that's going to happen, Devin Carter, because he doesn't make enough money. So in order to get the money that you want for Kaminga, you have to do Malik Monk, who averaged 17, 5 rebounds, 3 assists.
But are we losing the plot here a little bit? I think what Perk mentioned about the lack of faith that it seems repeatedly that the Golden State Warriors have had in Kaminga. And Steve Kerr
He wants to go.
He wants to go.
He wants to go. And the Kings are offering a starting spot.
Okay.
Power forward next to Keegan Murray, next to Sabonis. He's talked on a Zoom call with Scott Perry, as you know, the GM, B.J. Armstrong, the assistant GM, and also with their head coach.
Okay.
So he's in.
Right.
He wants to go there, but I think that first, the Warriors don't like the first. And then the Suns, I heard they're like offering Royce O'Neal in 4 seconds and Nick Richards. That's just not pretty enough. You
are around this team as much as anybody, and you know how deeply sourced Anthony Slater is around Golden State, one of the very, very best. He's saying that the talks right now, they have stalled. And so realistically right now, we are looking at a team that has 9 players, 9 players on their active roster.
Well, and I saw Gary Payton II 2 days ago.
Yep.
I'm like, what's going on? He's like, waiting on JK.
Right.
He is. Al Horford is.
Everybody is.
Yeah.
Right. And so, Perk, when you look at realistically what we can expect from this Golden State Warriors team that we've often talked about as sort of the beacon of light when you're looking towards what you want to be in terms of a consistent core, running things back. The last couple of years, it really hasn't been that. What can you expect from Golden State this year, knowing that this is who they're putting out there to try to maximize the last years of Steph?
Well, the way that this is trending, I'm not expecting greatness. right? They traded for Jimmy Butler at the trade deadline to come in and give Steph Curry life. He did that. Now you want to go into training camp not only healthy, but having those guys be able to get the reps on the floor, but you want to go into training camp with no distractions.
Right.
You want to go into training camp with the hopes of building team chemistry. Think about the Warriors and where they've been over the last 2 to 3 years, right? It's been the Klay Thompson drama, the beef with the organization. Can Steph finally come into the season without drama, where it's solely focused on basketball in that locker room? If they don't address this Jonathan Kuminga situation, then again, they're going to be entering another season with one of the greatest players to ever play the game of basketball, with not that much time left, with drama, instead of focusing on basketball and hitting the ground running.
And I think the Warriors have proven over the last couple of years that it's been really, the two timeline thing has been really hard for them to master. They haven't quite found a way to bring along young talent in a way that is fair and also reflective of the talent that they have in someone like Jonathan Kuminga. Before we hit the break, can we get to something fun, fellas? In case you missed it, there was a little spill at the Sparks Aces game last night. Really impressive backflips. But then it goes right into Sparky.
Oh. Look at your reaction.
I was shocked. I couldn't believe.
Okay?
I couldn't believe he was okay.
Dub Nation, we need to talk. Because this isn't just another offseason headline. This is a full-blown standoff between one of our most promising young players and the front office of the Golden State Warriors. Jonathan Kuminga just made it clear he's not folding, not compromising, and definitely not settling. After turning down a reported 2-year, $45 million deal, he posted on Instagram, and I quote, "I'll bet on myself all day." That's not just confidence, that's a direct message to the Warriors organization. Meanwhile, his agent, Aaron Turner, doubled down with a cryptic repost saying, "Legends never die." Translation? Kuminga is playing hardball, and the Warriors are on the clock. This is Warriors Nation News, and today we're diving headfirst into the tension building behind the scenes. We're not just reporting the facts, we're unpacking the motives, the risks, and what it all means for the future of the franchise. This is about loyalty, this is about leverage, and most of all, it's about whether Golden State is willing to commit to the player they helped develop from raw athlete to rising star. Warriors fans, we need your voice now more than ever. Do you believe Kuminga is worth $30 million a year? Should the Warriors fight to keep him, or finally pull the trigger on a sign and trade? Sound off in the comments, because the front office isn't the only one watching. Let's get into it. First things first, let's talk about that offer. According to multiple reports, including from The Athletic and Shams Charania, the Golden State Warriors recently offered Jonathan Kuminga a 2-year, $45 million deal. That's an average of $22.5 million per season, a respectable figure, especially for a 22-year-old who still has a lot to prove. But Kuminga said no. Why? Because to him, and clearly to his camp, that number wasn't enough. Not just financially, but in terms of recognition and commitment. Turning down $45 million isn't about greed. It's about sending a message. I know what I'm worth, and I'm not settling for less. Let's not forget, Kuminga was a bright spot in an otherwise rocky Warriors season. There were stretches, especially in January, when he looked like the second best player on the team behind Steph Curry. He averaged over 20 points per game during a crucial run, showing off improved footwork, expanded shot creation, and a willingness to attack the basket without hesitation. He's young, he's athletic, and he has something this team desperately needs: energy. That kind of potential doesn't come cheap in today's NBA, and Kuminga knows it. So, when he posted, "I'll bet on myself all day," he wasn't just flexing for social media. He was drawing a line in the sand. Now let's talk about the agent, Aaron Turner. Kuminga didn't just tag Turner in his Instagram story. Turner reposted it with the caption, "Legends never die." That's no accident. That's a strategic move. That's an agent backing his client publicly, letting the entire league, and especially the Warriors front office, know that their negotiation stance is serious. They're not going to take a prove-it deal. They want real money, real years, real respect. And the timing of this messaging couldn't be more critical because the rumor mill is heating up. According to Shams, the Sacramento Kings are one of the teams pursuing Kuminga. But there's a catch. The Kings wanted to do a sign-and-trade involving DeMar DeRozan, and the Warriors shut it down fast. That's huge. The Warriors clearly still value Kuminga. They're not just looking to get rid of him. If they were, they would have jumped at a chance to acquire a proven veteran like DeRozan. But they didn't. Why? Because they're still trying to find the right deal, or maybe, just maybe, they're still holding out hope that a long-term contract with Kuminga can get done. So, what's the holdup? Well, here's the chess game. The Warriors don't want to overpay, especially when they're already deep in the luxury tax. But at the same time, they can't afford to lose Kuminga for nothing or watch his trade value evaporate if he accepts the $8 million qualifying offer. And let's be honest, the longer this drags out, the worse the Warriors look. It's been weeks since free agency opened, and they've made no major moves. Everything is stalled. Everything is on pause. Why? Because this Kuminga situation is the key domino. Until it falls, the rest of the offseason can't begin. Let's be real, Dub Nation. This negotiation is more than just a contract dispute. It's a test of strategy and identity. The Warriors are stuck. Their payroll is bloated, their flexibility is limited, and they're caught between honoring their past and building their future. Kuminga represents that future, but they're hesitating, and every day they wait, the pressure builds. Here's what we know. The Brooklyn Nets are currently the only team with enough cap space to sign Kuminga outright. No sign and trade needed. The Warriors have refused to trade him for a big-name veteran like DeRozan. Kuminga's market value, according to in-league insiders, is somewhere between $20 and $25 million per year. He wants $30 million plus, and he's not budging yet. Now, here's where things get tricky. If the Warriors don't act soon, Kuminga could choose to accept the qualifying offer. That would pay him just $8 million this season, and then he'd be an unrestricted free agent in 2026, free to leave, no strings attached. That would be a disaster. Not only would the Warriors lose control over his future, but they'd also lose a critical trade asset. And if they're hoping to make one last title push with Steph, Draymond, and possibly another star, they need every asset they can get. So, what are the options? They can sign Kuminga to a 3-year, $75 million deal with a player option, give him money and flexibility, complete a sign and trade that brings back young talent or role players that fit this roster, or let him take the qualifying offer and pray it doesn't backfire. Only one of those options keeps the Warriors in control. Only one keeps the door open for bigger moves. And time is running out. Jonathan Kuminga has bet on himself, loud and clear. He believes in his talent, he wants to be paid like a star, and he's willing to play hardball to get there. The question now is, will the Warriors step up? Because this isn't just about dollars, it's about direction. Are the Warriors serious about developing young talent, or are they stuck in the past, chasing one last title while letting future stars walk out the door? We've seen it before, with Wiseman, with Poole. Are we about to see it again with Kuminga? You tell us. Should the Warriors match Kuminga's price and make him part of the core? Should they trade him for someone who fits better now? Or are they making a mistake by dragging this out? Drop your thoughts in the comments right now. We want to hear from the real Dub Nation. This is your team. Your voice matters. And if you're new here, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss a Warriors update. We're here every step of the way. Until next time, stay passionate, stay loyal, and always trust in the blue and gold. Go Warriors!